Draw a card. Now that's pretty silly right there. That was pretty silly. Can we say? Oh. Welcome back, everybody, to the show. I am your host, as always, J Villain, aka that Villain J, and tonight we have a very special treat for you. It's Mayhem time. You didn't think I was going to open up with a Mayhem deck? Yes, I am. I am not great at triple color. I can do a little triple color, but it's not my forte. I am not the triple color king, who of course would be one Mr. Swayze mtga. I am not, but this is mostly a Rakdos. We just have a Splish Splash of blue because we have to have King Fleem in here. Fleem is here. This is going to be the Fleem Mayhem deck, so if you're looking for that one, here we go. Really, really fun deck. When it pops off, it pops off. When it flops off, it flops bad. But we're in this to have fun. We're not in just to win constantly all the time. We're in it to try new cards and have a good time. So please hang with me for this one. Before you do, I need you to do something for me, which is, of course, tenderly press that like button, gently press that subscribe button, because if you don't press that like and subscribe button, guys, I'm going to be honest with you, you're going to get attacked by the like and subscribe, which you may or may not know is a YouTube werewolf will viciously maul you and rip you apart for not liking the video and subscribing to the channel today. Join us on our stream every night at twitch.tv/thatvillainj for all live streaming goodness. We would love to have you there live and in person on Twitch and on YouTube. Both of those places we go live, post new things, hit that notification bell so you be part of Notification Squad. Love to have you there right when we post anything new. Check out our Discord community for all latest news, information, post your decks, post memes, ask questions. It's all right there. Share your deck with us. I'd love to see it. And of course, this deck and all the other ones that I build are going to be available down below on my AetherHub. So if you want a copy of this one, go right down there to my AetherHub and you will find it. So that all being said, what are we talking about when we talk about Mayhem and King Fleem, the only blue card in the deck? Well, Skittering Kitten is actually a really good addition to red, honestly. A 1/1 haste that lets you draw cards is super good. And it is a spider hero cat. Go figure. It is a cat that is a spider, and that's a hero. It's actually Masked Meower from the main set, from the Spider-Man set. You discard a card, you sacrifice, and you draw. With the amount of removal that you have, the amount of junk you might have in your hand, the fact that you can instantaneously always discard, activate Mayhem, and do whatever you need, along with having an aggressive hit like that, is actually really, really good. I do like that a lot. He's going to be our primary one-drop. So before we get to the main course, let's talk about our removal. I think it's going to be the simple package. 2 Strategic Betrayals for those emergency exiles and graveyard exiles. Now, Bitter Triumph, you know, is my personal favorite removal. The thing is about this time is that this is really, really useful because it can let you discard a card. And discarding a card is super important to Mayhem decks right now. Mayhem goes off by, you may cast this card from your graveyard if you discarded this card this turn. So you can basically get cheaper casting costs, kind of like Madness. You get cheaper casting costs if you discard cards. So Bitter Triumph is the main way to go on that. Bitter Triumph is going to let you destroy a card and discard, which is super, super useful. So those are going to be the 2 discards right there. As far as creatures go, well, here he is, everyone. Gobin, Gene Splice Savant. In the Spider-Man set, this is Green Goblin, despite the fact that he's blue. A human scientist villain. He cannot be blocked, and whenever he deals combat damage to a player, he connives. And then, of course, you can transform him. 1 red, 1 black, and blue. The villain colors in 1 Grixis colors right there. You transform him, and he turns into Gobin. He turns into Fleem. Fleem, Gobin's creation. There he is, everyone. Don't let your dreams be Fleem's. He is Magic Arena's maybe his new mascot. Look at that goober. That is an absolute goober right there. He is just a silly little guy. He is a goblin human villain for 1 red, 1 black, 1 blue, and 1 Grixis colors and 1. You can also just choose to cast this guy directly if you want. You can just cast in the other side of it if you want. It's a dual-sided. He is a 3/3 flying menace. Spells you cast from your graveyard cost 2 less. Each non-land card in your graveyard has mayhem. The mayhem cost is equal to its mana cost. So everything can be cast for mayhem. Mayhem is everywhere. He spreads mayhem like a madman, which is really, really good, especially if you've discarded, you've activated mayhem. Everything can be cast out of your graveyard, which is a huge amount of recursion whenever you can get him right there. Whenever he also connives. Conniving lets you discard, by the way. You draw a card, then you discard. If you discarded a non-land, you put a 1/1 counter. Being able to do that, even with Gobin, is going to be doing damage, steady, unblockable damage every single turn, and being able to activate Madness or Mayhem on every single turn. So just an all-around solid mythic rare right there. Even if you're never really even going to flip it, Gobin is a really good blue card, generally speaking. So we're going to talk about discarding. We're going to talk about all the things that we want here. Timeline Crawler actually was kind of the piece of this deck that was needed to come together. The reason being is this guy can be discarded at no problem. He can be discarded easily, safely, and we don't care. 2 black, 2/2, Haste Strix Warlock. Whenever you cast this card from your graveyard, use its warp ability. You get to warp for 1 black. You can cast it from the graveyard. So it doesn't matter. If you discard it, you can cast it from the graveyard for 1 black and 2 life, and if it dies again, you can bring it back. So I never have a problem having something in my hand where I'm like, oh, I don't want to toss that away. That's too good. Timeline Color is a very good thing to throw away, to discard, and then replay again right there. Quint's Insight. We have the Loxodon himself, 1 red and 1 enchantment. At the beginning of your first main phase, you discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Very, very useful. I don't know why it says if. I guess you have to have something in your hand. You discard whatever you have, and if you play a land card, whenever you play a land or cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, this enchantment deals 1 damage to each opponent. We love to see that right there. It does a little bit of damage and enhances the mayhem ability right there. I think 3 Quint's Insight is fine, but pinging somebody for playing stuff from anywhere other than your hand is really cool. Timeline Color does 1 damage to your opponent playing anything in mayhem. Yeah, it's really, really good that way. Yeah, so Quint's Insight's a really good one. Our first Mayhem card right here is going to be Kinvi Orbweeder. This is a spider human hero. 1 red, 1 black, 2/1 menace spider human hero. I believe this is what is his name? It's the Crimson Web. What is it called? I can't remember. I'll have to tell you what the name is in a second. The Spider-Man name. It doesn't matter. It's a 2/1 menace. Whenever it enters, you may discard a card. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and its mayhem is so flexible. Couldn't be more flexible. Play a black or a red and 1 mana. Basically, getting a 3/1 menace out on the board for 1 mana is super, super good. Like, I know it's a legendary and you can only have 1 out at a time. But it's actually super good. Oh yeah, Scarlet Spider. It's Kane, Scarlet Spider, Spider Human Hero. That's what it is going to be right there. So super good Madness card right there. Mayhem card. I keep saying Mayhem because it's very similar. Ruzik, booed but victorious. This is going to be a Goblin villain. Yeah, we have the Villainy here. 1 black or 1 red. 2 of them. Black or red, any combination, very flexible casting cost right there, of course. And 1, look at how jacked that Goblin is. He is absolutely flexing, dude. Goblin Villain, legendary creature, a 5/4 for 3. A lot of meat on the bones right there. With the mayhem cost of flexible red or black, and 2, I love the flexible costs right there. Very, very nice. Basically what he does, every single turn at the beginning of your upkeep, you discard a card, and then you create a treasure token. So everyone hates him, but he's still making his money, and he's still getting the wins in. So he is also going to do something like Quint's Insight, which is why I think we only need 3 and 3, which is basically discard, activate your Madness, and then create a treasure token. Be careful with him, because he can make sure that you have no cards in your hand if you're not careful. So make sure that you are getting him down in the way that you want. And that you're not discarding a bunch of stuff. Be careful with him. You don't want to dump everything. So, oh, by the way, he's Ultimate Green Goblin. He's a Goblin villain. That's Ultimate Green Goblin. How do we make all of this discarding pay off? We bring back the one Amonkhet card that's good, Monument to Endurance. Artifact. Whenever you discard a card, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. You either draw a card, create a treasure token, or each opponent loses 3 life. With the amount of steady discarding that we're going to be doing with this deck continually, with Mayhem and all of our triggers, this is going to be a big hit right here. Being able to keep a steady flow of cards into your hand and making people lose life on top of Quince. You can do, 3 or 4 life a turn. You can hit people by discarding anything that you want, and of course casting things from anywhere else with Mayhem. So that is going to be a super big part of it. Monument of Endurance loves Connive and Mayhem and stuff like that. All the evil things that you can run and all the villainous moves that you can make. It really does like that. You get 2 of them out and you discard 1 and they lose 6 life. Like, that's ridiculous. That you're hitting so hard with that. Then finally, we're going to finish with Desecrex, Gift of Servitude. This is a symbiote villain. Can you guess who Desecrex is in the lore? I'll give you a second to guess, because it's pretty easy if you know who symbiote villains are, if you're familiar with Spider-Man. He is in fact Carnage. Crimson Chaos. He is a 4/3 trample. You can see that he is some sort of crazy monster who is reanimating everything. He is using his weird symbiote tendrils to reanimate things and throw them at people. Very cool stuff right here. His Mayhem is cheap. I like that. He's normally a 4-drop, but paying only 2, 1 red and 1 black for a 4/3 trample that not only when it gets on the board brings something else back to the board is insanely powerful. Here is where a crazy amount of recursion comes in, because whenever it enters with a mana value 3 or less, you bring a card with a mana value 3 or less, which by the way is everything. Rizik, Gobin, Kisrit, Timeline Crawler, whatever you want. And this attacks each turn if able, and whenever this deals combat damage to a player, you sacrifice it. But the thing is, you just keep bringing it back. You just keep playing him, keep bringing it back, especially something like Timeline Caller. Bring it back, swing it in, and then you can play it again and again and again and again. Or Crinzy, and you can start a Mayhem chain. You do Desecrex into a Crinvy, and you discard again. So you've discarded this, you bring it out, you bring them out, you discard again, and you're hitting chains and chains of discard. It all kind of goes bing, 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 bing. If you get yourself set up with your mana, you get your line set up correctly with how you want to get your Mayhem out, you can pull off some insanely crazy chains with this. Now let's look at this insane mana base right here. 1 blue, 2 black, and 3 red. Gloom Lake, Watery Grave, River Pyrebird, Spire Bluff Canals, Blazemire. The only things that I really want to point out is you do have to, Multiverse Passage is really good. That's a very good land card to invest in, because it becomes a basic land and you can pay 2 life, or it can come into tapped, which is super useful. Becoming a basic land is super useful for the Verges. So that is a very good synergy that you have there. Exclusive Nightclub is also a Mayhem card, by the way. It enters tapped, and whenever you cast it from your graveyard, you lose 2 life. So you can actually discard this card and play it from your graveyard by losing 2 life to get it onto the board, and that is full Grixis colors. We're also going to finish it off with a Starting Town, which is basically put it down and you pay anything and add any mana of any color. Very useful to have a good mana base right there, especially with triple colors off the rip right there. 23 creatures. We're all over the place, but we have a lot of villains. Believe it or not, man. Some heroes, but it's technically a villain deck, guys. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, it already is a villain deck, but it's even more of a villain deck. 4 instants, 2 sorceries, 4 artifacts, 3 enchantments, 24 lands, and a 2.3 average. We did flood a bunch. I think that maybe you could cut a land and be okay. You could probably cut 1 land. I'm hesitant to tell you to that. You could do what you want to do. Adjust it to how you see fit and what's going to work for you. A little bit of removal. I think the only thing you need to do with the sideboard, maybe some knockback or 3 steps ahead is a good counter spell. It's also a discard and draw. Tiny Bones is a great, each player discards a card as a 1 black. That's good. Nowhere to Run, Demand Answers, discard and draw. Super good for Mayhem. Wekdu is actually really good, the Midnight Hunter, because that's a good Mayhem card to play for 1 black. Decent, not great, but he's an insect villain. And honestly, guys, I'm stocking Villainous Wrath anywhere. Villainous Wrath is insanely powerful board wipe that drains life away from people. And with the amount of Reanimator that we can pull with Timeline Color and Desecrex, I don't mind wiping the board, especially if we're in a pinch. So keep Villainous Wrath in mind as we go. We're going to spread the mayhem with King Fleem himself. Don't let your Fleems be dreams. Here we go. Let's get into it. Sales. It's got to recover. This belongs as a commander set. I think it would be much more loved. As it is right now, people are not liking this set. I think people are not really enjoying it. There's the whole issue of, you know, the proprietary rights, that it's different. It just seems so clunky. Boom. Yes, it was supposed to be like a commander only or a modern set, and then they changed at the last minute. They said we can reach broader appeal if we do something different. I'm almost 100% sure that that is in fact the case. Collector's Vault and Soulstone Sanctuary here. Pinnacle Emissary. Boom. Each opponent loses 3 life. Boom. Legion Extruder, who's he popping? Nyx, boom. There you go. It's gonna sacrifice Collector's Vault. Gonna put down another one of those. Triggers off. Is he gonna swing? Yeah, he is. Discard a card. We're gonna discard that. Each opponent loses 3 life. this. Say discard a card. Draw a card. Now that's pretty silly right there. That was pretty silly. Can we say? Oh, an Earth Spider, cool. That was a silly can right there. I will say that required a little bit of finesse on my part. It did require a little bit of finesse on my part. I'll give myself credit for that. But it was silly. And you know, like when things are silly. Alright, we'll hold steady here. We'll play black. Crystal Grotto. Now we'll play Spire Bluff Canal. Boom. Fabled Passage. Wow. Yeah, one of the bigger issues is that Final Fantasy had a lot of underpowered cards, but it had enough powerful cards that you didn't notice. For every, for every fucking weirdo card that cost way too much, you had a powerhouse that could hit a lot of schmeat. And that was something, So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Boom. Okay, he's doing Jeskai too. Greed's Gambit. Ah, Greed's Gambit deck. Very nice. Yeah, I feel like we do need to learn a little bit more synergy. I don't think on its own it's gonna have a lot of power, but I think as a support set, it'll hold its own in some regards. He's gonna try to give me Greed's Gambit. That's what he wants to do. Momentum Breaker, very nice. Copy triggered ability. Boom. Very nice. He's not liking this. What's he got here? Face down card. Ooh, mysterious. Ooh, a flip up. Let's go. There you go. Alright, well, we're on to something here, guys. What does Gobin do for discard monument deck? It actually, I've got discard monument in this in CB. I've got discard monument in this pile right here. Mayhem. We do have a little bit of recursion here. We are sitting at Brainhead. Yeah, it's low on the power level. Generously, I call it a support set. It's here to support other sets and make sure that they're doing okay. That's kind of its job, is to add on to the previously existing powerhouses. Evil Cardo. Alright, I go first. I can get myself set up here. Boom. River Pyre Verge. Let's put you down. Evil Carrot. Authority. Y'all know what authority does, don't you? Do booed but victorious. Boom. No, Slime Manpour. I think that you may see in a couple weeks somebody figuring out a pretty big combo, but it's going to kind of bounce off. Currently, it's going to kind of bounce off everything what people are doing right now. You might board wipe right here. Connive. Fleems. I'm gonna go in. I want her to play the kill card. Get lost. Very nice. Pulled 2 lands. That sucks. Put down a starting town. Fantastic. He needs a wipe here. He might have one. He might not. There it is. Okay, we have that going for us. We do that. All right. You know, I've tried to get into Hades a whole bunch, and sorry I'm being quiet, guys. I'm focusing. Oh, look at that. And I just can't seem to pull it off, man. I dislike having to play through the whole fucking game, if that makes any sense. Having to play through the whole game over and over and over and over again is not fun for me. I don't like that roguelike. I don't like that. I found it just tedious and boring. Oh, but you get better. Okay, yeah. I'm still playing through the game. It doesn't matter. I'm still playing through the whole fucking game. It really doesn't matter. We lost this one. We flooded mostly. I tried my best, man, with Hades. I could not get into it, man. I wanted to like it, man. I really did. I really wanted to like it. Indie devs and all that, but man, I found it so tedious. I found it so tedious. I'm just tired of roguelikes. Every game that comes out nowadays is a fucking roguelike, and I want them to cool it. I want them to just make a regular fucking game. Just let me play through the... Just let me play through the fucking game. That's what I want. I don't want to have to do it. I feel like roguelikes nowadays are like an excuse to just have infinite content. Like, they go, well, if it's a roguelike, people will play for 20 more hours. They'll feel like they're getting their money's worth. And I genuinely feel like that is kind of the mentality, is like, well, content will be really huge. There'll be so much content. Here's the thing. I like the action. I like the combat. The NPCs were okay. The story, the level up. It's sending me back to the fucking beginning every single time. That was driving me nuts. That's what was doing it. It was nothing else other than that. Having to play through the first level 80 bajillion times was making me lose my mind. I couldn't deal with it anymore. Yeah, and I would get farther, and I'd get a little farther, and I was just like, I don't want to be farther. I want the game to be over. I want the game to be done at this point. That's what I want. I don't want to have some intermittent progress. I want to be to the next level and play the next level and then be done with the game. Hey, look, it's Meowsers. Not even that. Listen, doing it a couple times is fun. Doing it for 10 hours is not fun. It's every time I come in, I'm playing trying to make Mayhem work, Meowsers. Yeah, I also have a problem that as I've gotten older, I don't give two shits about NPCs. I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe I'm burned out. Maybe I don't think I'm cynical. But I do not give two shits about NPCs anymore. I don't care. They mean nothing to me. They mean less than nothing to me. I genuinely could not give a shit less about NPCs. They're nice to have there. I want gameplay. Gameplay. We're not going to let our Fleems be dreams. Like, part of the reason Baldur's Gate is, like, I don't... Like, people love that all the characters in Baldur's Gate and all that. And they're so fantastic and they're so well written. And it's nice. And it's, again, I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying if you're stupid for enjoying it. I'm saying that for me, it's nothing to me. I've played so many games with so many NPCs. I think it just has to do with getting older. I think back in the day when you're young, you really do like a lot of these NPCs. They really do feel realistic. They feel interesting. But at a certain point, At a certain point you hit that where you just are like, yeah, I don't care anymore. Well, True Yellow, what do you think I'm upset with right now? I'm upset with having to play the same thing over and over and over again. Essentially. Boom. Boom. I have a 48% chance of drawing a mana, and I haven't drawn one. Zishu buff. Okay. Is he gonna go in? He's not gonna go in. We'll put down the Skittery Kidder. Yeah, I love Dark Souls. I love Dark Souls. Like, to me, right now, Dark Souls and, like, Elden Ring was probably one of the best games that I've played in, like, the past decade. And there's story and there's NPCs. They don't really talk your ear off. You know what I mean? Like, they don't chatter with you constantly. They say a couple of things and then they die tragically. You know, that's kind of, that's kind of their MO. They go, "Oh, would that I could see the gilded halls of Kathkamor once again." And then you go back and they are dead and they drop an item. Like, you're not having long fucking, you're not having long drawn out fucking conversations with them. The gameplay, the ambiance. I'm tell you what, I'm more into ambiance now. Can I say that? Can I say I'm an ambiance head? If you give me the vibes, a good vibes of the game, I will love that. I'll fucking vibe out to a game if you just give me a good feeling. Is mono blue viable? Probably, yeah, there's a mono blue deck somewhere that's viable. They're really going through it right now. Double. There you go. Zishu buff. Yeah, there we go. It took them a while to figure it out, but we are fleeming, guys. We're fleeming to the music here. We are fleeming to the music. What's up, Saja? How you doing? Hey, what's up, Mars? How you doing? Oh, you're rated over, Mars. Sly Manpour, how you doing? Brainhead, what's up? Welcome. Okay. Alright. We'll start with starting town. Okay. A lot of suppression here, which is fine. Authority is not good for me. Morbius is not very good. I'm sorry I had to be the one to tell you. Monument to Endurance. Okay. Janet and Hoppy, Roof Skippers. They're having a good time. They're gonna Shelter by Ghost me. Probably gonna Shelter by Ghost the Monument. Hey, what's up, Francois? I like this arena new pellet, but yeah, the poison one. Francois, you like it, but it looks like toxic poison. That's the problem. Let's see what they want to do here. Silent Zero. Okay, they're really thinking about it, like a lot. They're really thinking. They're doing the deep think on this one. The big thinking. The big thinking. There we go. Okay, you still got it. That still got off. Boom. Boom. Do that. Boom. Boom. Soul Guide Lantern. Very nice. He's really doing the big think about a lot of these cards. Really doing the big think here. Boom. Drop you, Quinn's Insight. He's got some sort of insight. I guess this is holding up priority. Really doing the big think. Or a Boroid. Very nice. Boom. Okay. Another Ouroboros. Pop, pop. Probably can't resist going in for 6. Alright, we got a lot of stuff to do here. I'm sure we're dead anyways. they're gonna get a grand total of 9. Oh, oh wow, oh that's great. 3 Ouroboros, really cool. Yeah, we're gonna go. Some long-ass games here. Playing Mayhem over and over and over again. So literally anything but the 3 mana that I drew in a row would have been a fantastic addition right there. But alas, poor Yorick, it was not meant to be. Ruthless Negotiation, we will get rid of... Ooh, exile something. Get rid of Quinn's Insight. The one I could live most without will be Scattering Kitten. Yeah, any discard at all would have been fantastic for me there, but game didn't feel like doing it. That's an easy one. My turn. Starting town. What's he gonna do? Yeah, I thought you had to transform him. I guess you could just hard play him, huh? That's pretty cool. He's gonna get Gobin right there. Boom. He's gonna activate that. Boom. Might be able to apply a little pressure to him here. Riptire Verge. That's 1 damage. Okay, so we'll do you. Bring back Gene. Okay. Sunset Saboteur. Let's do Monument. Let's bring a little damage to the party. Let's get rid of the mountain. Let's draw a card to keep the loop going and drew mana again. Wow, amazing stuff. We seem to keep drawing mana. Seems to keep happening. Wow. Okay. He's gonna take Quint's Insight because that's the only card we have in our hand because we keep drawing mana. Wow. Can't seem to ever get a fucking break here, especially with all the card draw that I have in this deck. We can't seem to do it. Can't seem to get the can't seem to get anything in that works. I just want some smooth draws. That's literally all I'm asking for at this point. Just don't fucking flood me a million times in a row. That was pointless. He's gonna go in for 1. Boom. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna say discard a card. We're gonna say discard you. We're gonna say draw a card. The Ouroboros Army. There's another mana again. Fantastic. Okay, so right away we're gonna play that. We're gonna put down Gloomlake Verge. Get you out. Play damage. Boom. He's gonna have probably some sort of kill card here. But if you're killing Timeline Crawler, you're kind of throwing good money after bad, honestly. You're kind of throwing good money after bad if you do that. Bitter Triumph, you had to get rid of it for that one. Boom. Pump. End it. That goes away to exile. Alright. Ruthless Negotiation. He'll probably play this, and he will pull a that from my hand, which is nothing. I'll lose a life. I'll do that. I'll discard. And I'll say... Yeah, alright. We got him there. Good lord, man. The flooding. Alright, let me work on this. Let me work on this fucking... Let me work on this, whatchamacallit real quick. Let me work on this mana base. Good God almighty, man. We're actually doing pretty good with it, man. We're actually fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're 6 and 4, which is not terrible. Soratobu Maguro. I don't know why I said that like I've never spoken any language ever in my whole life, but hey, look, I went first. That's pretty cool. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Soratobu Maguro is not... Oh, there he is. And turn. What do we got here? Nightclub. Blue. Whispering Merfolk. Spire Bluff Canal. Gene. No attacks. And turn. Okay. Starting town, so he is playing 2 colors here. He's playing Simic. Explore 1. Merfolk, Simic Merfolk. Interesting. Interesting. Probably the only Simic deck that I don't loathe with the Fury 1,000 Suns. My turn. Pay 2 life. Okay. Ruzek, Budba, Victorious, Hero of the Rising Tide. We're gonna need some removal here soon, but we are bringing in some power. We are bringing a little bit of heat here. We are bringing a little bit of starch on these. Might be able to starch them. My turn. Discard that one. Boom. Yeah, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Push him. Take it. Discard a card. Create a treasure token. That's a pretty wide board there. That's a pretty wide board there, folks. He comes in with only 3 mana against me. I don't think he's got enough bounce to deal with that. Aetherize, he can't play Aetherize. He doesn't have a lot of bounce. He could play 3 bounces, I suppose. But that, I don't even think that that's a good use of resources. Okay, you may cast thing is deep. Alright. You may return tap creature to its owner's hand. That's fine because it means I can discard it. My turn. Skittering Kitten. Alright, so then we're gonna start with this. We're gonna get rid of Exclusive Nightclub. Great Treasure Token. Food but victorious. We do that. That's gonna hit that. Boom, boom, boom. Check this out. Get him, Gobin. Get him, Gobin. Check this out. Thanos Snap. Alright. Let's see if we can lock it in, boys. Am I crazy for saying that the cards in the new set is worthwhile, that is worthwhile is expensive to play? Yeah. There's a little bit of a price issue, yeah. Again, I feel like this may have been tuned for what's it called? It may have been tuned for Commander, so the prices are a little higher. I feel like we might be there with it. I like it. Mayhem, actually, when it goes off, it goes off. I think you got to keep it cheap. I think you got to keep the heat on it. You got to keep it on a low simmer, and you're good to go. You're doing stuff. You're cooking. But overall, you've got to keep it real low and aggressive. You can't take a lot of the higher end. You can't take the complex stuff. You can see how it's all kind of up front right there. So you got to do what you got to do if you want to get it off quick, get aggressive with it, and get that recursion in there for extra hits. I think that's the only way to fly right there. But I hope you liked it, because yeah, if you're swimming upstream against the worst decks you've ever seen, I feel you, man.